Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another day of Ball Logic here. We had a Russell triple double out here. We had Donovan Mitchell show with 46. We had some big scores out here, plenty of triple doubles floating around. We're here to talk about it, and let's go through today's games and preview tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ball Logic, and you got me, your host, Flanders, for the night. We got Mattrix here, mate. You look like you're living your best life there, mate. How you doing?
Fuck, I'm in my element. I'm here at work still. Just using, you know what? I could just call it the Ball Logic studio for how much basketball I watched today. Yesterday here in Australia was the Melbourne Cup, and everybody's punting left, right, and centre. So I have my sports bet account, and I hadn't been punting, so I actually didn't realise I had some money in there. So yeah, bet on Rui Hachimura for 25 points. That was good for a couple hundred. I got on Derek Queen rebounds today. I got on Alex Sarr 30 plus today. I tell you what, I have been on an absolute sizzler. Honestly, and just looking at guys that I was looking at adding for fantasy because someone like Rui Hachimura gets the bump with Reeves and Luka out, and LeBron obviously. Derek Queen gets the bump because everybody was injured, and just following my fantasy trends, which is turned into a good day on the punt, really.
Who would have thought, mate? Maybe you should podcast on this.
I should do a podcast about fantasy even.
You really should, mate. You really should. But we have a big day today in the way of games. And tomorrow we're a little bit lean on, so we're going to put a bit of time into today's games that we had here. And then, we'll look at some ads because with only one game tomorrow, we're going to be pretty limited there. But I reckon we go back and do the daily rewind. Mate, we are going to kick it off with the 76ers and the Cavaliers. I'm going to go through the 76ers and I'll leave the Cavs to you, mate. Out there, we had some big showings there. We had Tyrese Maxey and Quentin Grimes, 27 apiece each. 9 assists for Tyrese Maxey there. He's put up big numbers still again there. And Trenton Watford as well. Big, who is that guy? 16 points and 6 assists. Nice few ads there for somebody there, mate. But tell me about what happened on the other side of the ball.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell absolutely went gangbusters. It's really funny because I traded him out of Supercoach because Darius Garland was back. So naturally he popped off. I've got some stocks in Dono, so I'm pretty happy. 46 and 8 today, shooting 70% from the floor, and really carried him to a win because the 76ers have been in some unreal form. You would have, like in deeper leagues, you would have been pretty happy with Lonzo Ball's 8 assists. Honestly, he's just an assist streamer at this point in his career. And look, I said it wasn't going to happen, but Jalen Tyson got 29 minutes. So look, I probably owe an apology to Brano and Horse on this one. They've kind of got it right. I just expected Lonzo, once his minutes started to ramp up, he would step in and take that role. But even with Darius Garland back, Tyson seems to be getting minutes.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one that I don't think many of us expected to see. But big news is obviously Darius Garland back, and the commentators over there at Cleveland said it pretty good. I don't think anybody's happier more than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. Oh, he's just got like a little less attention, and obviously he was able to dominate. I obviously got it wrong, thinking that he was probably a trade out before Darius Garland come back because, he just looks happy as a pig in shit.
He really does. He really does, proving that he is still an elite player and will continue to be. We're going to head over to Detroit, where the Pistons got it over Utah over there. Big news there, Walker Kessler. That year is done for that man. He is having surgery and he is done. So a name that just sounds yucky every time you say it, in Yusuf Nurkic today. 17 boards for that man and not much else, which is pretty Yusuf Nurkic of him. We had Larry Markkinen doing Larry Markkinen things. 25 points, but he shot it at 36%. That is Larry Markkinen, if we could sum him up in one line pretty easily there. We also had Svi, Brano's man. out here. I'm not even going to try.
Spy Mikhailuk.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, mate, you look so Russian when you say that too. That's even better. He did the most Larry Markkinen scoreline impression as well, with 28 and not much else really. But he did shoot it much better than him at 62% from the field. So big shout out to that guy over there. Keontae George keeping on there. 19 and 6. Yeah, big shout out to that guy. He's been a massive sleeper for anyone who had him in some leagues there. They were all pretty low turnover there on that side of the ball. Walter Clayton Jr. with the only guy more than 2 turnovers. And Ace Bailey starting to show he's a little bit more than what he has been to start the season. 9 points, 4 boards.
Yeah, I've been trying to work out who is the beneficiary of Walker Kessler going down. I think it's Yusuf Nurkic for now, but in deeper leagues, especially maybe some of your keeper leagues and everything like that, I think it will be Filipowski eventually when they decide they want to lose. I suppose, they started not too bad. They're 3-5 at the moment. So they'll see it out probably for another month. But when they decide to lean into some young talent and be okay with losing, I think that they will give Kyle Filipowski some reps, probably more so even than Taylor Hendricks. So that's just something I'm going to be keeping an eye on over the next month. And I did up a bit of an article in our Patreon about it today. So
yeah, it was a good read for me this morning in the early hours of work. So it was good to know that. And I didn't jump on, but he doesn't fit many of my builds. But I will say if he does fit your build, jump on that. He had 4 points, 4 boards in just the 20 minutes. But I would expect him once, they accept being crap, he is going to be taking the better part of 25 to 30 plus minutes a game come January.
So Detroit won today. I consider him a better team than Utah, so not surprisingly. But Cade Cunningham somehow managed to look like the worst player in the league for the first half and then the best player in the league for the second half. I think he was on 3 and 4 at halftime and honestly put him on his back in the second half for 31 and 10. Mate, yeah, you've just got to ride the highs and the lows of this high-volume guard. But, yeah, look, he was good today. Osar Thompson owners would be happy. He fills that stat sheet in so many different ways. Ron Holland is one that I've flirted with. I've picked him up. I've dropped and picked him up whenever Detroit have a good schedule. He always seems to be available. And Isaiah Stewart came back down to earth today. But 22 and 22 from Jalen Duren, you're going to take it. I would not be surprised if this guy is a top 30 player, top 5 center in the league by the end of the year. So.
Yeah, I was big on him in the preseason as well. His numbers on a per minute basis last year looked really good. It was just the low minutes that really hindered him last year there. So him putting up that in 34 and a half minutes, I was really happy to see that out of him there. But yeah, good to see some good things going on out there in Detroit. The next one we go over and see is this just yuck matchup this year in the Nets versus the Pacers. We had Michael
the toilet bowl, right?
It's something like that, mate. It feels like my NFL team at the moment. That's how good it is. We are talking Michael Porter Jr. doing Michael Porter Jr. things, 32 points, 11 boards, but only the 3 assists, which is not shocking for anyone familiar with his game. We have Nick Claxton, 18 points, 10 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Lovely for his owners there. Shot it good from both the line and from the field, 55% from the field, 80% from the line there. Tyrese Martin seemed all right there, 16 points and 5 boards. And Terrence Mann, 15 points and 6 assists with 2 steals. That is about as much as I really enjoy talking about the Brooklyn Nets because the rest of it is pretty yuck. Cam Thomas, though, only the 5 minutes. So owners do be weary there. He did go down. But yeah, zeros across the board there, except for the 1 assist that he got. So just something for owners to be aware of.
Yeah, and I was quietly optimistic on Isaiah Jackson in the Pacers, but then he's went back. It just goes to show that they're a bit of a head case. Like Jay Huff, last time I was talking about him, he was playing 3 minutes. Then he goes and plays 18 minutes. And Tony Bradley was playing the most amount of minutes out of all these guys. Now he's playing the least amount of minutes. I can't work them out, so now I can't trust the Pacers. Look, the usage for Pascal Siakam is probably one of the things I can trust. And if you're a massive gambler, you could get on Ben Shepherd. He had 18, 4 and 3, but he has had some real poo slingers recently. But there's just nobody else. So I think he's just going to do Ben Shepherd things. They've went and got an excitement machine in Mac McClung. But yeah, he didn't even get a run. He looked all right in his first run, I thought. But yeah, did not play coach's decision. So I saw him get picked up in a few of my leagues. But yeah, let's just draw a line through the Indiana Pacers, unless you've got maybe Naismith, Pascal Siakam, or if you need a streamer, Ben Shepherd. But I think playing 35 minutes a night, he's going to be rostered somewhere. I'm just still not 100% sure you want it to be your team.
Yeah, I tend to agree there. I'm pretty much looking past him there. But yeah, Siakam's usage is something for most people to be aware of there. That is high, and as a result of that, his percentages are low. He is the center of attention out there. So that is something to be aware. If you can shoot better from the line, I would much appreciate that in the $100 league too, by the way.
Maybe he should just be the center of the team at this point rather than just the center of attention, because I can get down with Pascal Siakam at center. Just fucking let the boards go. If it goes in, you don't really care about winning. Fuck it.
Are they going to win anyway? That's probably the real question out here. From here, we head out to Boston, head out to the Garden here. And I feel bad for Washington, almost as much as I feel bad for Jaylen Brown's hairline that ended up on the Washington Wizards there for a bit. That's a great one there. Another sacrifice to his hairline this year.
Yeah, look, it's going to happen. It'll come. Father time will come for me one day. He's probably about 6 or 7 years younger than me, but I've still got the rug happening. So yeah, I do have a Nico just in case. It'll be drawn in.
Yes, no, big shout out to him there, but he had a good day there. I'll let you talk about the Celtics though, mate. On the Wizards here, Alex Sarr, proving that he is still a wonderful option for those guys who got him in probably about the 80s in some leagues. You would have got him there. 31-8 with 3 blocks there as well on just the 29 minutes, 60% from the field, 4 threes from there, and he shot 75% from the line. I will take that out of this man every day of the week there. He's proving to be very
$9. He was paying $9 for 30 plus, and I was on.
But you couldn't lose today, could you?
No, I had him at 20, I had him at 25, and I had him at 30. $10 each.
Oh, that is wonderful, wonderful ladder there for you. One guy I do want to make sure everyone is well aware of is Bilal Coulibaly. Today he was pretty mediocre here, 1.2 boards, 3 assists there. Did not hit a field goal, hit just 1 from the line on 16 minutes. He will come good. You might end up seeing him drop back into some waiver pools there. I'd be keen to jump on him if you've got the ability to stash, because they are going to focus around a lot of him there, especially in a similar spot to the way with the Jazz. Once they learn that they suck, they will use him and blood him much better than they have so far this year. CJ McCollum being CJ McCollum with 3 points, 1 board, and what is
hey,
this?
I'm a CJ fan. Wash your fucking mouth out.
Mate, I'm a fan too, but I didn't like the 1 from 10 and 3 points.
Shooter's going to shoot.
And not even a 3-pointer to get him his 3 points there.
Yeah.
Other than that, like everything else out here is pretty yuck. Bob Carrington, 3, 5, and 6 looked all right. But other than that, I am happy to stop talking about the Washington Wizards. And I'll let you talk about the Boston Celtics, mate.
Yeah, Josh Minnow fucking cooked. I can get around this. 21-5 with the 3 steals. Yeah, look, stoked to have some stocks in him. Again, listen to our podcast. We said straight away as soon as he got that start, we actioned it. Nemesis Keita, 15 and 12. Jaylen Brown with the 35 points. Look, a better day from Derek White. 4 from 8, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. This is kind of what fans anticipated when they took him. They probably expected more than 12 points too, but he at least seems to be trending in the right direction. Anthony Simons, I actually saw him dropped a lot, scored 18 points after 30 minutes today with the 2 assists. And really, I'm not super interested in anyone from the bench unless you're like streaming in a Sam Hauser or somebody like that. Peyton Pritchard was all right today, but yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, so from there, we head over to the New York and Timberwolves game today. And yeah, we had a ripping game out here over at New York. And yeah, with New York getting the win over the Timberwolves out there. We did see Anthony Edwards make a return there, 28 minutes. Pretty cool game for him. 15, 5, and 2. So his owners will be banking on the bounce back there. He will come back. They just eased him back and brought him back probably earlier than I think we all expected from his hamstring. But it proved out there at the moment, it's still the Julius Randle show. 32, 5, and 4 out there for him with a block, 57% from the field, 3 triples, and perfect from the line, 5 of 5. Dante DiVincenzo, showed out all right there, 21, 3, and 4. Other than that, there's no real notable big stat lines here. I think we're just back to what we would expect out of these guys, but I would expect that minutes move, the usage to go from Randall back to Edwards once he's back up to full fitness there.
Yeah, I do think Randall cops a bit of a I've picked him up in a lot of leagues, and I always think that he's undervalued every year. I do think he cops a lot of unnecessary slack. And also, I don't think it's a bad idea to at least test the waters on an Anthony Edwards trade. Look, he's good, and I think fans and owners will hold on to him. But you never know how frustrated someone could be. They could be 0-2. They've got Anthony Edwards. They're putting it down to this. He comes back. He has a bit of a poo slinger. I'd at least test the waters. Look, you're not gonna buy it 50 cents to the dollar, but you might be able to buy it 75 cents to the dollar. And sometimes it's not what you spend; it's what you save. Jalen Brunson had a good one today, 23 and 10 with this 7 rebounds, flirted with that triple double. OG Anunoby again was good, 25 and 8. Karl Anthony Towns did Karl Anthony Towns things, 15 and 10. And Mitchell Robinson come back into the starting lineup with 8 and 10 with 3 blocks. That's very Mitchell Robinson stat line. Josh Hart, the 27 minutes. I don't think it matters if he starts or not. This is about the value. He's always been, somebody that flirted around that 80 to 100 mark, except for last year, which was a bit of an outlier. So be okay with that if you're a Josh Hart owner. But apart from that, the New York Knicks at the moment are just a better team than the Timberwolves, and they proved it.
Yeah, I think that's the case there. We head out here to Memphis now, and the Houston Rockets 124 over Memphis 109 out here. With the Rockets out here, it's just everybody gets in on this, and they would be really happy with that there. Jabari Smith Jr., 16 points there, 2 triples. Alfred Sengun, it's a bad day to be a Sengun hater for me, but 20, 16, and 7, a steal and a block. Was poor from the field at 42%, but you have those nights some nights. But it was the Amen Thompson show, 28, 10, and 7, 2 steals there, 50% from the field, and he hit a triple, which Amen Thompson owners would be greatly shocked at, but he went 1 of 3, so that is quite nice for him there.
Yeah, I reckon he said amen after that.
Yeah, mate, that is a shocking dad pun, and I can't handle that with you. Oh, there you go. Tari preseason showed out again, 16, 5, and 1, a steal and a block too, so picked up some nice stats there. Clint Capella, 10 boards in 16 minutes, doing his best Mitchell Robinson impression there. And Reed Shepherd still showing he is worth some form of stocks in a streaming spot there. 12 points, a board, an assist, and 2 steals there. So still doing what you'd pretty much expect there, but was only on the 16 minutes. So just something to keep an eye on there. Josh Okogie was part of the starting lineup today.
Yeah, no, that's fair, man. Look, I'm pretty disappointed to be a Grizzlies supporter today, despite betting on Aldama overs. So again, going with my punting trend, did make some money out of Santi Aldama. I just have a look at this lineup and I wonder where the offense is going to come outside of Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and that's why I was sort of looking at Santi Aldama. I do wonder if it's a matter of not if, but when Cedric Coward gets inserted into this starting lineup. Jalen Wells has been pretty ordinary to start the year. And look, Zach Edey has come back in through the Memphis hustle. I know I looked in every single league and he's not available, but maybe a buy low. If he is on your league, please just check it. Yahoo lets you check all the leagues that you're in. Just make sure Zach Edey, because he's playing basketball now, just make sure that he's rostered because, Jock Landau slides down. You get an upgrade with Zach Edey there. You start to move Cedric Coward in with Jalen Wells, and then this team starts to form, what Thomas was planning to start the year. Ja Morant, obviously out of favor a little bit. But yeah, he's either going to have to get over that or they're going to trade him for some valuable assets. So look, Memphis have been ordinary, but I think you need to keep your eyes on Zach Edey. You need to keep your eyes on Cedric Coward coming back into that starting lineup. Jalen Wells dropping out. I'm seeing him dropped in a lot of leagues. And and then I think that this team can step forward. But look, Cam Spencer got minutes I wasn't expecting, 19 minutes and 19 off the bench. With all the guards that are out, I kind of wasn't anticipating him to get this many minutes at all. But yeah, look, pretty dismal and not too much to talk about, albeit five blocks from Jaren Jackson. But like, you got him in the third round, like 9 and 6. The 5 blocks still doesn't save what you thought you were going to get out of this guy.
No, not unless you were in desperate need of blocks. Does it make you feel better? But you should be disappointed by that stat line there. We head over to Dallas now, mate, to talk about the low-scoring affair of the Pelicans versus the Dallas Mavericks there. 101-99, the Pelicans got up over Dallas here with no Zion. So on the Pelican side of the ball, we didn't really have anything that too much sets my life alight here. Trey Murphy still disappointing owners, 11, 9, and 5, 2 steals and a block there. 25% from the field is killing him. Sadiq Bey was the guy today, 22 and 9, 64% from the field there on 30 minutes. That's good from him. Nothing defensive from him, which is a bit different. Other than that, we had some good role playing here. We had, Jeremiah Fears proving he's pretty good. 13, 5, and 3, gave a steal. Other than that, the rest of it's pretty yuck. Herb Jones, potentially, if you're looking for some deep streaming, because he is hanging around for some streaming at the moment. But Derek Queen is probably the only other option that some guys look at. 11, 7, 2 with 3 steals, 25 minutes. I would look for him to potentially make his way into a starting lineup soon, potentially, with Kevon Looney being the starting center today, only playing the 15 minutes. So Queen is getting more and more minutes into him. So check to see if he's available in your league.
Yeah, and that's the most amount of minutes that Derek Queen's played. And I know that they closed out with him today. And look, I'm not all about starting. Like if he got those minutes, then yeah, he's all good to go. I was kind of hoping this one went into overtime so I could get some of those extra stats squeezed out. But Cooper Flagg missed the shot. He's going to be disappointed, but 20 and 9 with 2 assists and 3 steals and 2 blocks, you're going to be pretty stoked. D'Angelo Russell started today, didn't play fantastic, but I think this is the sign you were looking for if he needs to be added. He had a 30-point game the other day. I know he had an assist game in the 10s. I think that now the roles going forward as to why you drafted him at 120. So look, you can pick him back up off the waiver wire. But yeah, look, Dallas weren't fantastic. I suppose when your 2 best players are out, you're not going to. But, Daniel Gafford, 15 and 8. PJ Washington, 15 and 11. He should be rostered in every single league. But honestly, man, I don't really need to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. This was a pretty ordinary game by 2 teams that are 2 and 6.
Yeah. Something I don't mind with Gafford is he's only 20% rostered out here, guys. So 15 points, 8 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He's not going to put that up every night, but hey, if you can put that up occasionally for a nice stream option, is somebody worth looking at, I believe.
Takes us into the next one.
Perfect. Into the next one here, mate. We had the Heat and the Nuggets. 122 and 112 out here, mate. I will talk us through the Heat. We had 22, 4, and 5 out of Andrew Wiggins here. Norman Powell came back with a vengeance, 23 and 2. Davian Mitchell, 10, 3, and 9 assists there. Jaime Jaquez Jr. still putting up points on some high minutes there. 21, 3, and 2 with a steal. And other than that, it was pretty much Kalel Ware, 13 and 13, 4 steals and a block, 27 minutes coming off the bench. I much prefer this man coming off the bench. So while you fumble around with your microphone there, mate, the Denver Nuggets here, we had Nikola Jokic just doing Nikola Jokic things. Tell me about it.
Yeah, look, you could get confused in this one. Nikola Jovic was no good, but Nikola Jokic was really good. So 33, 15, and 16. One of the best trip dubs that you ever got. But look, this is why he's the best player in the league at the moment. So, yeah, look, you need to expect it, and especially in a win. And Miami Heat are an unreal team at the moment. They've been playing some really good basketball, and Denver showed their pedigree today. Aaron Gordon stepped it up again, 24 and 6. He's been really good to start the year. Somebody that was on waiver wires, somebody that was taken in the 140s. Look, a 50 piece from Aaron Gordon surprised me, but 24 minutes is just him playing really good basketball. Anytime that Aaron Gordon steps up, Jamal Murray probably takes a little bit of a step back. Just the 14 points today. I see a lot of people hitting panic stations on Cam Johnson and Christian Brown. I'm starting to get around it. I'm not sure that there's top 130 value in these guys at the moment. But I am higher on Christian Brown than I am Cam Johnson. But a lot of that is actually due to the minutes. Christian Brown just seems to be playing an extra 10 minutes a night than Cam Johnson. So look, if you're gonna flush one of these guys down the toilet, maybe you have both. Maybe you're a Denver fan. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of Cam Johnson. I think he is a streamable player that will just get hot at certain times. But he's just never been a guy to get a lot of counting stats. And when Nikola Jokic is pulling down 15 boards, Aaron Gordon's pulling down 6, even Jamal Murray's pulling down 8, like he's kind of shutting up, standing in the corner and shooting his shot.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to head over to the West Coast now. We're going to talk about Los Angeles Lakers out here. But I'm going to talk about San Antonio Spurs here for you, mate. Mediocre, I guess, is probably the way I'm going to describe these guys. No one was great. Not a lot of them were crap either, but no one was great. Wemby, no double-double today, 19, 8, and 3, 1 steal, 1 block. Otis would be disappointed, but it's about time he made his way back to earth. It's the law of averages. You have to be crap at some point. And if this is his crap, you know what? I'll take that. Julian Champagny, 14 and 7. We had Stephon Castle put up a reasonably good stat line here, 16, 5, and 8 with 3 steals. Devin Vassell, 15, 3, and 4. They were just sort of filled with this. Something notable, though, is Jeremy Sohan out here, 16 points out there, and did foul out with the 6 fouls there. He did shoot 85% from the field and hit 1 of 2 from deep on just the 22 minutes. So somebody to potentially keep an eye on as a streaming target moving forward. See what role he ends up with, as this man could be in a vast variety of roles in the backcourt or the front court.
Yeah, and I think he fits a mold, maybe a Draymond Green light. This was his first game this season, so honestly, pretty promising. But like, you wouldn't be surprised to see him push Harry Barnes or Julian Champagny out of the starting lineup. But the Lakers, mate, DeAndre Ayton's kind of fucking cooking the last couple games. 22 and 10 with the 2 blocks. I'm not a hater. I'm somebody that has picked him up in a couple leagues, and I have been pretty happy. Luka Doncic, 35, 13, and 9 with 5 steals. When I got the notification that he had 4 steals, I was like, holy fuck. But yeah, obviously that injury or the rest or whatever you want to call it before was fine, because he did play the 42 minutes today. Rui Hachimura and Jake LaRavia playing a lot of minutes, taking 9 shots each. Luka's creating for these guys, getting these guys open. So you're going to take that. And honestly, I'm not interested in anyone off the bench, except for the fact that
bench was yuck.
I actually think Bronny James can be a contributor in the NBA, which I don't think is the opinion of a lot of punters out there. But I kind of like what I see from him. Yeah, I see role player out there in Bronny James.
Yeah, I see a lovely 9-year role player career playing an 8-man will be what he will be. And I think if you ignore him as LeBron's son, then I think you would take that out of somebody every day of the week. He was like the 55th pick in the end. You can't expect too much out of the 55th pick. So,
Yeah, Delhi.
Yeah, exactly. We'll happily take what he's giving us for the moment. We're going to head over to Portland here, mate. And the Blazers, they took out the champs, mate. OKC get their first loss of the season, 121 to 119 out here. I'm going to talk us through the Thunder, who copped that first loss of the year. Aaron Wiggins, 27, 2, 2, 3 steals. Cason Wallace, 5 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals. Isaiah Harkenstein just doing iHark things, 10, 11, 3 and 2 steals as well. AJ Mitchell putting up some steals. They were just getting steals left, right, center out of those guys. Shea is the reigning MVP, 35, 9 and 4. No defensive stats today. Pretty poor, though, from the field at only 38%. But was great from the line as he always is, 12 of 13 here. We did see no Lou Dort as well out here today, no Chet Holmgren as well. So a fair few guys were missing from the lineup here. Other than that, like there's Jalen Williams, the bad one, not the good one. Gave us 9 boards, 4 assists, just doing what he does and a couple of blocks. Other than that, there's nothing else that's really too notable out here. If anything, I did like, and referring back to some preseason stuff, I do like Usman Deng, and he does give a bit of spice. I'm a big fan to see what that man can become on OKC or potentially away from them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, look, he's good, fills the role, and it's good when you're playing for a good team. Would you believe me if I told you that in some of my leagues, I have both Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins at the moment as streamers that have brought in that have just been good enough to not drop yet. So I was pretty happy with today's stat lines at the Thunder. So
you would take if you look at them all together, I'd take that stat line out of them too. Divide it out, have 2 of them. You know what? That's pretty reasonable, mate. But tell me about what the Portland Trailblazers did to the reigning champs.
I'm going to start nowhere fucking near you think I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the Great Barrier Reef, Duop Reef. 20 minutes today, 12 points. Hasn't been able to get off the bench, but obviously they liked what they saw today. And I tell you what, he put the dagger into the hearts of the reigning premiers. So, the Aussie Sudanese basketball player was out there having an absolute fucking banger, shooting 80%. But Denny Avdia, fantastic. 37 minutes, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. This is why he was sliding into the top 50 at times in drafts. I was disappointed with Donovan Clegan, 7 and 8, but that's probably a lot of why somebody like Duop Reith got a run. But Duop Reith got a lot more run than Robert Williams today, which is pretty exciting. Kamara, 16, 5 and 2. Shaden Sharp sort of slid out of the lineup at times to get Jeremy Grant a lot more burn. That guy's been absolutely cooking and paying like fucking $300 for 6th man of the year. So honestly, the Portland Trailblazers are better than I anticipated. I don't know.
Yep.
If you like money, that is something that you could look at. But he's getting a lot of usage every time he's out on the floor, the veteran out there. I'm not sure how it looks like when Scoot Henderson comes back into this lineup, but we know Dame's not coming back this year. So Drew's getting a fair bit of burn. I don't expect him there at the deadline unless Portland keep on this great run. But let's move on to the next game, mate.
We're talking sell high on Drew Holiday here, mate.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Like, it's a little bit away. I think you can probably ride the wave for another month. But he's probably somebody that if you're trying to get an absolute gun, I know I've been targeting blokes like Devin Booker and some of these guys, even Kevin Durant after an 11-point outing today. You start to put, that sort of borderline top 50 player or somebody that's had a good bump with Drew Holiday. It starts to look a bit enticing because he has been really good.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to go out here and talk about the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings at Sacramento here, mate. I'm going to leave you talk about your boy, over at Sacramento. We're going to talk about the Warriors here, mate. Who's Will Richard and why is he like the best thing since sliced bread?
Yeah, I believe you should refer to him as Will Dick, Will Big Dick, because he was fucking huge today.
37 and 3 with a steal as well. He shot 66% on 34 minutes there. He had no Steph. He had no Jimmy out there as well. He did what he wanted to. He had no Draymond too. He just did what he wanted to, and he proved that he is absolute great depth that they've got in their lineup. They roll out off the bench there, give him some minutes on a back to back, and I don't mind having him as an option to stream in off a Golden State Warriors back to back throughout the year there, proving he can do it here with 30 points here. Jonathan Kuminga, 24, 9, and 3 as well. Quentin Post probably disappointed a few people, myself included, as a streaming option. Only the 15 minutes there. 4 boards, 1 assist, but he did get 2 steals, 2 blocks as a valuable stat for me. I will take them every day of the week, but none of the points. 0-5 he went. Moses Moody dropped 28, 3 and 3, 2 steals, 4 blocks. If it wasn't for Will Richard, he would have looked so much better on a stat line there. But Will Richard is just a who's that guy? Just looks fabulous.
Big Dick Richard. I'm a big
Richard.
Fan.
Other than that, we had some normal guys. Al Horford 7 boards. Buddy Hield with 9 points. That's probably about it, mate.
Mate, and over at Sacktown, I actually think Dennis Schroeder is a buy. I think that he's somebody that people probably picked off the waivers or picked up pretty late. But I think that he can honestly drop top 100 value this year. The usage is there. He looks great. He is the starting point guard. He's beat it out in front of your Keon Ellis's and your Malik Monks and all these other players. Like Malik Monk was great today, played 25 minutes. But Dennis Schroeder's still getting his. So I think while Malik Monk's going to have good games and bad games, I think this is what Dennis Schroeder is. Maybe that he was 18, 7 and 7 today. But honestly, I think he's an 18, 5 and 5 guy between now and the end of the year. And that's somebody that I want on my team. So people have never really valued Dennis Schroeder in fantasy. I think it's time to jump on. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about a Russell Westbrook triple-double, 23, 16, and 10. I know the old Insight Punt Club got a roll on Russ Westbrook triple-double today. Drew Eubanks honestly needs to be owned when Domantas Sabonis isn't playing. Precious Achiuwa did his best Harry Giles impression. And to be honest, if Harry Giles wasn't on your bingo card, you need to listen to me more often. Nick Clifford today was 12, 3 and 3. DeMar DeRozan just hit his mid-ranges with 8 of 20 from the field. Of course, he never misses a free throw. The guy is just that. And Sacramento, I didn't expect them to beat the Golden State Warriors, but I also didn't anticipate Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler to sit. So, hey, we are where we are. And as a Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler owner, my week is ruined. And I'm sad.
Yeah. Yes, that's all right. We're here to console you, mate. But now we're going to talk about the one game that we have tomorrow here, just the one sole game out here. And we have the Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns here. It's going to be easy to watch all the games tomorrow. You've just got the one to watch. Probably the big notable in here is Jalen Green is listed as probable. What's your thoughts there, mate? Who takes the knock out there?
Honestly, I don't really know. It could be a Ryan Dunn or somebody like that, but I think they're going to play it by ear. I think it's going to be a lot of how the game's panning out, whether it's, maybe a Colin Gillespie or a Royce or somebody like that. Yep. But I think if they need defense, they're going to continue to play Royce. And I think if they need offense, they're going to play Jalen Green. So, look, I'm not too worried either way. I just want to see how he looks to start the year before I start hitting panic stations on any of my guys.
Yeah, Grayson Allen is definitely one of the guys up there that's willing to take the knock as well there. We do still have Dylan Brooks as well to come back into that lineup, and he seems like he's been blending in really well out there. So that is just something for the owners of Grayson Allens and Colin Gillespie's and those sort of guys out there to be aware of, mate. Is there any streamer from these guys?
Yeah, probably still Jordan Goodwin. He played 24 minutes last game. He's one that can get on a little bit of a heater. But again, I'm also thinking maybe I draw a line through him with Jalen Green, probable. But if Jalen's not playing, I think that you can probably get somebody like a Colin Gillespie and stream him in. He's played above 20 minutes in their last 5 games. Grayson's always a stream. Royce is always a stream. And when, like, if you've got those waiver ads and you've got expendable players, look, does it really hurt to get one of these guys in? If they don't perform, they're not going to ruin it too bad. So,
No, exactly. They're not going to put up enough shots or enough free throws to really damage your percentages. So you'll take that every day of the week there. On the other side here, mate, we have notable outs though. No Kawhi and no James Harden. Do you expect them to still be out on this side of the back-to-back?
I don't know. Like, Clippers have perennially just sat guys in back-to-backs, and maybe they were targeting this one a bit more than the other one. I wouldn't be surprised if they played. But yeah, it is in a back-to-back, and these guys are both, I suppose, getting on when it comes to age. I know I went and added a Derek Jones Jr. the second that I saw Kawhi out. He has played above 20 minutes in their last 6 games and is providing top 100 value. So I really don't hate getting in somebody like a Derek Jones, getting in someone like a Chris Dunn, and hoping those guys are out so that they get a bigger bump. But I think they're still going to provide pretty good value, especially on a night where nobody's playing, because they're honestly performing better than even a Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal's still 73% rostered. So,
yeah, definitely someone that's going to be a watch for me is going to be Bradley Beal here. If they do sit them as well, and he had a pretty ordinary day today, 5 of 8, 12 points, a board and assist, got a steal, but did have the 3 turnovers, which does kill you a bit. If he plays tomorrow, and depending on how he plays, if he can't be, proven to perform without the likes of Harden and Kawhi in this lineup, I think if you've got him, you've just got to send him straight to the waivers. He gets the perfect opportunity to show out in 2 games back-to-back for you. And if he can't prove that he can at least be a guy to put up, 20 and 5, I think this is the chance for him to do it. And if he can't, send him out there and just use it as a streaming spot.
I don't know. I kind of get it. And I know that you're probably expecting a little bit more. But if he's getting 15, 5, and 3, he's still probably better than some scrub you're pulling off the waiver wire. I don't know. I think he probably will come good. I kind of think that he is a guy that'll probably get better ball when he plays with Harden. He has been a bit injured, but yeah, I don't know if he's completely droppable yet.
Yeah, he's gone for me in some of my leagues there, but there is still some form of stocks that own him in here. And I'm just having a look at a few of my leagues here. The only one of my 6 that he is available in, the only one I had him in was one of the mock drafts. So everything else, he is available on my waiver wires. So just as an idea out there, it does say he's 74% owned here, but he could end up being a stream target. And if you want to do that, it's a buy low off the waiver wire potentially here with Bradley Beal.
Yeah, if you had to rank them, because these guys are playing the one game, do you think you'd go, I think Derek Jones Jr., I think you'd go Derek Jones Jr., Bradley Beal, and then maybe a Brook Lopez, because Brook Lopez is still getting a couple of blocks in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Brook Lopez is still somebody to consider there as well. He's hitting 3s as well. He's on 1.9 threes a game this year. That's equal to Derek Jones Jr. there. Second highest for the Clippers. So he's still somebody worth adding there as well. If you are chasing some assists there, old man Chris Paul is always good for an assist. So
yeah, and like not playing many minutes at the moment. Obviously, father timers came for him pretty heavy, but the man can still pass the ball. I actually expected more minutes today with some of the guys that were out, but he did only play the 11. So anyway, we are where we are.
Yeah. Mate, I think that wraps up us. I think we've got some waiver wire ads there for you guys on just a single game there, but we did have a big bunch of games today. We're glad to go through them with you guys, and you've listened to a Ball Logic podcast. Thanks, guys.